Okay, you import shoes from the country. You also take maybe some design, some model. I need this kind of shoes maybe for my customers in Uganda. Those cost of the molds, the cost of the dyes that you are going to use to produce those goods in China will also constitute the cost of the goods. We also have insurance cost. These goods are supposed to be insured. Our delivery term for the goods imported into the country by vessel, by sea, is called cost, insurance, and freight, what we call CIF. The cost will include all those, the cost of the goods, the royalties where applicable, the assets where applicable, the packaging materials, where applicable. That is the cost. Then you pay for insurance, because you want your good to be insured, so that in the case of any occurrence of risk, you are compensated. Okay, you don't make losses. So the goods are insured. Or you pay for a premium on the goods imported. They will add up on the value of the goods. Then the freight. The freight is now the freight you pay to use the vessel to transport these goods will up to Mombasa or up to Dar es Salaam will constitute the cost of the good. That is called CIF. However, goods that are transported by air, if you decide to use air to transport your goods, the freight cost is not added on the cost of. This is agreed at the EAC level, at East African Community level.
Oh, then that's safe.
Okay, it's not only for Uganda. It's for the EAC. This is agreed at the EAC level. That the cost for the freight by air should not be added on the cost of the goods. So all the other costs will remain. The cost plus the insurance will be will constitute the value of the goods.
Now, Emma, a quick one, because I see time seems to be flying very fast. I know there are some areas where Ugandans are very much interested. Now, what currency is used for custom value?
The currency that is used for customs value is that currency you agreed with the supplier, because the supplier is selling to the goods. If they are selling the goods in US dollar, the value of the goods will be in. That's why you had me speaking US dollar many times. Okay. If that's the agreed price, I mean the currency with the supplier, that will be the currency on the invoice. If it is pounds, it will be in pounds. If it is, we are buying from South Africa, could be South African rands. Okay. If you are buying from Kenya, be in Kenyan shillings. So it depends on how you agree with the seller. And these currencies are indicated on your documents. Definitely. On your commercial invoices.
Now another quick one. How does customs in Uganda conduct value for used motor vehicles? Here I have a lot of interest there. Okay.
I wanted to complete on the currency. However much the value of the goods are in those currencies, in foreign currencies, the taxes are paid in Ugandan shillings. Oh. Taxes are paid in Ugandan shillings. We don't collect taxes in foreign. We collect taxes in. I want that to be very clear in Uganda, because we have every month URA publishes the exchange rate for the purposes of customs, purposes of imports, purposes of exports. Those currencies, those foreign. We have the exchange rate for purposes of collecting duty. Now, values of imported goods. Now, imported goods, imported vehicles. Yes, used vehicles, yeah. Used vehicles are unique, okay, are unique. The methods I explained earlier, 1 up to 6, method 1, transaction value, may not be applicable on used vehicles. Because there are certain conditions that are supposed to be fulfilled for you to pass your transaction on method 1. And that is, for example, a sale for export. Motor vehicles that are used are sold in those countries and are used in those countries for a period of time, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and so on. So the first buyer bought that vehicle from the supplier, from the seller. They were used in that country, in Japan. So the sale of that vehicle to the first buyer was not a sale for export.
Yes.
So we cannot use the transaction value on used motor vehicles. Method 2, transaction value of identical goods may also not be suitable for used vehicles.
True.
Because getting identical in all aspects is hard.
Mileage,
get it?
model, age, and all
engine
that.
capacity,
Yes.
same supplier might also not be suitable. Similarly, to transaction value of similar goods may also not be suitable. And going back to deductive, coming back here to the bond, you see how much are they selling this vehicle?
Definitely, that
30
can't
million,
work.
the prices vary.
Yes.
What this one selling at 30, another one selling at 25, another 28. So it may also not be applicable. So what we employ is the deductive, the fallback method. So URA has a publication of values of used vehicles that are shared with the public. And these values can be accessed from the URA web portal. So that it is uniform to everybody. You will buy your vehicle from Japan at 4,000. Another person will buy the same vehicle at 2,000. Another person will buy the same vehicle at 8,000. So you find that variation in the prices. So to have that harmony, we have a uniform value for used imported motor vehicles. Okay, imported, so that everybody uses the same value, and these values are updated monthly. They are reviewed and updated monthly. Where are these values got from? They got from our research. We do research before we come up with these values. We engage the suppliers of these vehicles and share with us that this price of these vehicles are this and this and this currently. Okay, so those values are derived through researches and published for the public to use to avoid those issues of disputes on those values. So we have uniform values applied to imported used motor vehicles. Well,
Emmanuel, it's been very interesting getting to know how URA arrives, how customs arrives at these values or valuations. And of course, time is so much against us. I have to give room for the next program to take on. But let me just have your parting shot.
Thank you. I am glad for this time you have shared with us. Okay, and customs valuation is not a challenge. What is required is documentation. Once you make your documents right, you will not have any issue and a delay. So the issue, what we normally get is documentation. Somebody goes at Nasa Road, somebody goes at Nkrumah, doctors these documents, and it gives us something contrary to what we know, because some facts are there. Some facts are there.
The 6 methods help you discover.
Yes, yeah. You may bring all your documents, but somebody, you will see it's, it may be not possible that somebody can bring a container, for example, of tiles from India at $4,000 US. And the person gives us all the documents. So where you have some doubts, say no. You might have all the proofs. This is how I paid, this is the cost. But the doubts are there. If you imported them from India and you are saying 4,000, what's the cost of the freight alone? That's already 1,000, maybe 200, 1,500. You can't convince someone that the goods are worth this much, 3,000 US. So it's all about using right documents, genuine documents. You will have a transaction value passed by customs, and that is what we always request the clients, the stakeholders, to always avail customs with the correct documents that were given to them by the seller. by the seller.
Well, I just want to thank you so much, our viewer, for your time, and of course my guest. Thank you so much for finding time and of course coming, and we discuss more for the public to better understand some of the seemingly challenges, yet they are easy to work with. For example, proper documentation. URI has methods that they'll still find out when you try to doctor here or there. So why not save yourself time, have the right documents presented, and your goods are cleared. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow, God willing, for God and my country. Good morning.
Thank you.